right, let's dive into something we all do every single day, but probably don't think too much about.
Drinking water.
Exactly, drinking water. We're checking out excerpts from the InflowFit method today, and it's making me really rethink my whole approach to hydration, honestly. Like, could we be doing it all wrong?
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? I mean, we all kind of take water for granted.
Yeah.
But this book really dives into some pretty cool ideas about the different
Different what?
well, different states of water.
Okay.
And how those different states might be impacting our health.
Interesting. It starts with this idea of a fourth state of water.
Right.
Okay, so it also calls it H3O2, or structured water.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, when I first saw that, I was like, fourth state, is this like when matter becomes plasma?
Well, no, not quite that dramatic, but it is a different way to think about water.
Yeah.
See, we all know H2O, right?
Regular water.
Right, the water we drink, yeah. But there's also this other form, H3O2, and it has a different structure, like at the molecular level.
So how is it different?
It's more organized, the H3O2.
Yeah.
The molecules actually form a kind of hexagonal lattice.
Hexagonal lattice. For water.
Yeah.
That sounds really high tech for something like water.
I know, right?
So where does this structured water come from?
It's all over in nature, actually. Rain, rivers, springs, they all have a good amount of H3O2 in them.
Interesting.
And, get this, it's also the same kind of water that we find inside our cells.
Wait a minute. So our cells are filled with this special...
With this structured water.
Structured water. Why haven't I ever heard about this before?
Well, it's a relatively new area of research, and it's definitely, it's challenging the way we usually think about water.
Yeah.
But there's a guy, Dr. Gerald Pollack.
Okay.
He wrote this book, The Fourth Phase of Water.
Uh-huh.
And he lays out a lot of evidence about H3O2, how it works, its properties, and how it plays a role in all sorts of biological systems.
Interesting. Okay, so what makes this H3O2 so special then? Does it, give you superpowers?
Well, no, not quite superpowers, but Dr. Pollack thinks it's like a really big deal in how our cells actually function.
Okay.
So, like regular water, it tends to clump together, in these bigger clusters.
Yeah.
But H3O2, it forms these smaller, more organized structures.
Okay.
And Dr. Pollack thinks that because of that, it can move in and out of our cells much more easily, which means it can do a better job of carrying nutrients and getting rid of waste.
Oh, so it's more efficient.
Exactly, like a well-oiled machine,
Right.
Keeps things running smoothly.
So, okay, so we've got this structured water inside of us.
Mm-hmm.
Is it just a matter of drinking enough water to keep things, keep those gears turning?
That's where it gets interesting. It's not just about how much water we drink. It's about getting that water inside our cells where it can actually be used, right?
Yeah.
That's what he calls intracellular hydration.
Intracellular hydration, okay.
And the book suggests that just drinking water, well, it might not be the most effective way to do that.
Wait, so you're saying just drinking water isn't enough? That's going to be news to a lot of people.
Yeah, well, hear me out. The book talks about this idea of eating your water.
Eating your water.
Yeah, and they focus on fruits and vegetables because they're naturally packed with structured water.
Okay, so like an apple a day keeps the dehydration away or something like that?
Well, it's not quite that simple.
Okay.
I mean, drinking water is obviously still important. But what they're saying is that when you eat fruits and veggies, you're not only hydrating yourself, but you're also giving your cells that specific type of water that they can easily use.
So it's kind of like you need regular water for the whole system?
Yeah.
But that structured water from the fruits and veggies, that's like the premium stuff for your cells.
Exactly. It's all about finding a good balance.
Okay.
Looking at both the quality and the source of the water you take in.
That makes sense. So I got to ask about something that really jumped out at me in the book.
Oh.
It mentions something about water having a memory.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not usually one for conspiracy theories or anything, but water memory, that sounds a little, I don't know.
It definitely sounds kind of out there, right?
Yeah.
It's probably one of the most controversial things in water science.
I bet.
This guy, Dr. Jacques Benveniste, he's the one who came up with the idea. His research suggested that, get this, water molecules could somehow hold on to information even after you dilute them.
Hold on.
Like, dilute them so much that there's none of the original stuff left.
Really?
It's like, imagine you make a cup of tea, right? And then you keep adding water to it, diluting it over and over again.
Okay.
At some point, there wouldn't be any actual tea left.
Right.
But what Benveniste was saying is that the water could still have this memory of the tea, even though the tea's gone.
So it's like the water could have a taste for Earl Grey even if there's no actual tea in it anymore.
Yeah, something like that. It's pretty wild when you think about it.
It really is. And I mean, I can barely remember what I had for breakfast yesterday.
Exactly.
So is there any actual evidence to back up this whole water memory idea?
Well, that's where the debate comes in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ben Venist's research was super controversial,
Yeah.
and a lot of scientists are still skeptical.
Yeah.
But it's a really interesting thought, you know. It makes you wonder if water, this thing we think is so simple, might actually be a lot more complex than we realize.
It really does. So we're not saying it's definitely true, but we're not ruling it out either.
Right.
Okay, I like that. So this book, The InflowFit Method, it also has some tips on how to boost our hydration and even detox our water. Now, I know that detox word gets thrown around a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes it sounds a bit gimmicky.
I know what you mean. It can sound a bit faddish.
Yeah.
But in this case, it's more about paying attention to the water you drink, you know, trying to make sure it's as clean as possible. For example, they talk about using copper or glass containers instead of plastic.
Right. Because plastic can leach chemicals into the water.
Exactly. And copper's got these natural antibacterial properties.
Oh, interesting.
So storing your water in a copper vessel could actually help purify it.
Huh. So it's not just what we add to our water, it's also what it touches.
Right.
What else does the book say?
Well, they recommend filtering your tap water, you know, to get rid of the chlorine and stuff.
Makes sense.
And then, get this, they say you can add things like activated charcoal, cinnamon, even a few clove stems to your water.
Hold on, charcoal in my water? That sounds kind of weird. What's the point of that?
So activated charcoal, it's really good at absorbing toxins, like a sponge, basically. And the cinnamon and cloves, they're naturally antibacterial, so they can help kill any bad bacteria.
Interesting. I'm always up for trying something new, but I gotta say, I'm more of a lemon in my water kind of person. Does the book have any ideas for those of us who want to jazz up plain water a little bit?
Definitely. They suggest adding things like lemon, rosemary, mint, or berries.
Okay.
Makes your water taste better. And you also get some extra vitamins and antioxidants.
Okay, that I can get behind. So we've covered containers, filtering, flavoring. What about the actual drinking part? Any tips on how to do that better?
Yeah, they're big on sipping water throughout the day instead of chugging a whole bunch at once. Apparently, sipping helps your body absorb the water better all the way down to the cellular level.
Yeah, it's like giving your body a little bit at a time instead of flooding it, right?
Exactly. And remember, we talked about getting structured water from fruits and vegetables.
Right, eat your water.
Right, eat your water. And they say it's best to eat a good mix of colorful produce throughout the day.
So we're sipping for regular hydration and munching for structured water.
Exactly. And one more thing. They actually have a special drink they recommend.
Oh, what is it?
It's for boosting hydration and helping your body detox.
Ooh, a magic potion. Tell me more.
It's actually really simple. It's warm water with fresh lemon juice.
Okay.
And a teaspoon of good quality olive oil.
Wait, lemon and olive oil in water? That's a new one. I mean, I'm all about healthy habits, but...
I know, it sounds kind of strange.
Yeah.
But the idea is that the lemon juice helps cleanse your system and get your digestion going.
Okay.
And the olive oil, it's got healthy fats, right?
Yeah.
And those fats can actually help your body absorb nutrients better, especially those fat-soluble vitamins.
Interesting.
So the lemon and olive oil together, they kind of gently help your body's natural detox process.
Okay, so it's not about some crazy cleanse or anything like that. It's about giving our bodies the tools to do what they already do naturally.
Exactly.
I like that. But after all this talk about structured water and water memory and detoxifying our drinks, I have to ask, what does all of this actually mean for our health? I mean, if water can be so much more than just H2O, if it can actually hold information and energy, does that change how we think about the water we drink?
That's the big question, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It really makes you rethink the whole thing, like, you know, going beyond the simple chemistry and looking at how water could be impacting our well-being in all these different ways.
Right.
I mean, if water can hold information, even in small ways, it makes you wonder if, well, if the quality of the water we're drinking or like the history of that water, if that could be affecting us somehow.
So you're saying that a glass of spring water could be like fundamentally different
Maybe
than a glass of tap water that's been, treated and piped into my house?
it's possible, right? I mean, we know water is really dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
It changes based on its environment. It interacts with everything it touches.
Right.
So you can imagine that those interactions could leave some kind of trace
Yeah.
on the water itself.
Wow, that's it. It's almost like we're talking about water having a personality or a history or something. It's not just this blank slate anymore.
Exactly. And it really makes you appreciate how complex water really is.
It does.
And it opens up all these new questions about how it could be affecting our health.
For sure.
Like, maybe it even plays a role in how energetic we feel or how quickly we age or, all sorts of things.
This deep dive has definitely made me want to learn more about all of this.
Me too.
What would you recommend for our listeners who are feeling the same way? What should we do next?
Well, I definitely say check out the InflowFit method. Get the full story,
Yeah.
and look into the work of those researchers we talked about, Dr. Pollack and Dr. Benveniste. There's so much information out there that challenges the way we typically think about water.
Yeah.
But beyond that, the best thing you can do is pay attention to your own experience. Like, notice how you feel when you drink different kinds of water.
Oh,
See if you notice a difference between tap water and spring water, or water from a plastic bottle versus water from a glass.
yeah.
Trust your gut. Be open to new ideas, and maybe even try some experiments of your own.
I love that. It's like we've been given a whole new way of looking at something as basic as water.
Exactly.
And who knows, maybe there are even more amazing discoveries waiting to be made.
Absolutely, yeah. This is just the beginning.
Well, on that note, we'll leave you to ponder the mysteries of water. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Thanks for having me.
Until next time, stay curious and stay hydrated.